I want to be quite frank with you here. If the British withdraw, I'm prepared to go on with the Australians and the New Zealanders, but I'm not prepared to go on with the Americans.
Why not, Mr. Prime Minister? Why do you think America...
Well, can I put it this way? I think there are highly intelligent, well-meaning often people, and some of their leaders, like Kennedy, the late president, had signs of growing greatness, depth. But, you know, by and large, the administration lacks depth and judgment or wisdom, which comes out of an accumulation of knowledge of human beings and human situations over a long period of time. That's lacking. And it's not their fault. What have they got? 300-400 years of history, and they've become a nation just recently. You know, I'll tell you this. I've had only three experiences with the Americans. And they did not intend any harm in each one of them. But the tragedy was they did real harm. First, this is old stuff now. We caught an American CIA agent trying to subvert our intelligence special branch officer. Bribe him so that the special branch officer will feed the CIA, because the CIA wants to know what's happening. I mean, subverting a Singapore officer. The man might have succeeded, but I'm proud to say that the officer offered large sum of money and continuing sums of money. This was in 1960. Refused and reported the matter to his chief, who reported it to me. Man was caught, locked up, and it was on razor's edge whether we charged him in open court or not. No, let me explain this. When I told the American government, all right, we keep quiet, you take this man away, $100 million to the Singapore government for economic development. You know? No, listen to me. I didn't tell, you know, I never spoke to the Americans direct because, you know, they lack the finesse, and, you know, they may say, yes, hey, give it to you. Why not? Why should the Singapore government just give to you, to me, which would have ruined me? But through an intermediary, they offered me and my party $10 million. I mean, the insult, you know. I told them, keep it. No, this is important. Do not forget this. And this is why I have not the slightest doubt that my two colleagues, Dr. To and Mr. Rajaratnam, go on this tour of Afro-Asia, which they'll do as soon as the local affairs are settled. I have not the slightest doubt that Afro-Asia will be with us. You see, unlike if Cuba with an American base, with American sovereignty, is independent and not a neo-colonialist stooge, then me, the people of Singapore, owners of the British bases, I mean, I could give you a notice, 24 hours notice, you have to quit. Or you're committing an act of aggression with very serious consequences.
Oh, very true.
Oh, yeah, surely.
I think, Mr. Lee...
This is Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Shalom Akim, Kahala, Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Qadash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharala, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, I wanted to highlight this old video that I've seen a while ago, but I thought that encapsulated perfectly the treachery of Esau. You see, the video we just saw right now was of the Singaporean Prime Minister, basically the president. His name was Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, right? And he basically talked about not only how he was, approached with a bribery attempt to basically, stab his fellow people in the back for Esau's sake, right? But also he commented on Esau's general character, right? Especially that of America. How America is a new country and how it just doesn't have depth, right? Notice he said that it's because America is a new country that they just don't have the experience that they need, right? And because of this, they lack the experience. Well, in that lack of experience, Esau does very unwise things, right? And ultimately what happens is that his wickedness comes forth. And the CIA is an agency of Esau's power structure that proves that very point, that his wickedness is paramount above all else. Because again, if you understand what the CIA does around the world with its illegal actions and its clandestine operations, you understand that it's not Esau's best efforts humanitarian wise, right? They're known for drug running, sedition in other countries, or raising sedition amongst other countries, right? Initiating coups, right? Torturing, kidnapping, and even been implicated in some sex trafficking events. Now again, this ultimately is Esau, right? Completely being exposed. And this man here, the story goes on that when he came out and he had made these claims about him being bribed, that the U.S. came out and basically said that he was lying. And this man later on came out and actually revealed the letters that showed that the U.S. government, or it says that this led the U.S. ambassador to Malaysia and the State Department to both deny the incident, which prompted a furious Lee to furnish Rusk's formal letter of apology as proof of the incident. So you see this guy pulled out the receipts on Esau. So again, this is something that was hidden for a long time, but because the way the internet works and the recent revealing of the CIA documents, the thing is Esau's being made bare, as the Bible says that the Lord would do in the end times. He would reveal these devils' wickedness. And if you don't know, Singapore is basically they're a mixture of Japhet and Moab, right? Singapore is down here in this tiny area here, and they're right below here in China. So again, you have the mixture of Moab and the people of the South Sea, who are Japhet now. Okay, so that's who this man is. And again, the reason why Singapore was being approached by the CIA is because Esau is trying to get in all over the entire world. And if you look closely, this is where Vietnam is at, Cambodia, Laos. All these places were devastated by Esau. This is Proverbs 26 and 26. Actually, start at 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin. So you see, Esau, he's starting to be revealed all over the world, not only with current events and recent history, but from past recent events, right? It is now common knowledge that the CIA was behind the assassination of a sitting U.S. president, that of John F. Kennedy. And nobody was really batting an eye. And why is that? Well, because this is something that is just expected of the U.S. government. Well, that of the CIA, that is, right? Which is basically the dark arm of Esau's. Now, that being said, this is only not even the end of it. We're going to start seeing a lot more wickedness coming out and being revealed, right? The Lord is only getting started with what He's actually revealing, what these Edomites have been up to. This is Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Yahawah of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. Okay? The border of wickedness. And the people against whom Yahawah hath indignation forever. So you see, though Esau was permitted to raise to a certain height and gain a certain amount of power in this world, his time is now up. And what's happening is the Lord has now broken the staff of the rulership of Esau. And this is why now you're starting to see all this anti-American, so-called Caucasian rhetoric coming out, right? You can see this with the recent brawl in Alabama between the Caucasians and the Judites that came off of the ferry, right? This is all starting to pop up to the surface now, because there's a reckoning that Esau is going to have to account for, right? That is for his past actions, and it's also just because of all the animosity that him and his people have built up. Well, it's all starting to catch up, and this is the result of it. So either way, I thought this video was edifying, Akim. Hopefully you found it interesting. Until next time, I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahawah, B'Shem Yahawashi, B'Shem Qadash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.